Using chainmail to clean carbon steel and cast iron makes a lot of sense. But what about using it for cleaning everything in your kitchen? Okay, so hear me out on this. So I'm a big proponent of chainmail for you cleaning carbon steel and cast iron. It works brilliantly well, and it's become incredibly popular for us. And I know people all around the world are getting their hands on chainmail for cleaning their cookware, and that's working really well. So in part of the journey with helping people reduce their environmental impact by buying less nonstick cookware and buying carbon steel or cast iron, we're also trying to get people just to reduce what they use altogether. And that made me think about chainmail. So chainmail lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. Like I have no idea how long one of these is gonna last for. Decades, which is fantastic. This guy here is wrapped in silicone, so maybe the silicone at some point in time would break down, but they're just so incredibly durable. And this comes with quite a large loop to the chainmail, and it works really, really well. But I've also got my hands on some smaller sizes of chainmail. But I've found that some of the larger chainmail loop doesn't work as well trying to clean some of the stubborn carbon buildup. I've found that gentle, small chainmail loop works really well for just delicate cleaning. And I've started using it for cleaning a lot of different things. And so what I've been finding is that I'm not reaching for the plastic-based cleaning cloths that I have in the past. And primarily these guys here. So this is what you may know as like the world's best pot scrubby or a Polish pot scrubby. They're a nylon, plastic, looped, woven cloth that are hugely popular. But what I'm finding is that they're breaking down and becoming very, very soft. And basically they're becoming 50% of their weight over time of using them. So logically that means about 50% of that plastic is going somewhere. And I would assume that's going down the drain in the form of microplastics. And that just doesn't seem awesome. So what I'm suggesting is that we get rid of these guys and we use a really soft chainmail. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna clean some simple dishes. I'm gonna show you doing my dishes, but doing it using one of these guys, because the issue is that, oh, well, chainmail is gonna scratch. And with this 3.5 millimeter loop chainmail, I've found that it just doesn't. I can clean glass with it. I can clean all different sorts of what you would think would be more delicate materials, and it works brilliantly well. And it seems like it's just gonna last and last and last and last and last. So, you know, they're of course a little bit more money than buying a cheap plastic scrubby. But I think, you know, like buying a coffee machine for home instead of buying coffee out, over time, you're gonna save yourself money. So let's give this a go and see how it works. Okay, so this morning I made some oatmeal and I've left this to just dry onto the pan. We had a berry and broccoli smoothie, and I made my girl some tempeh scramble with some onions. So nothing majorly cooked on. This is gonna come off quite simply, but just choosing the best tool for the job here. So I've got a 10 millimeter silicone centered chainmail scrubby that I find works really, really well for doing quite intensely cooked on food. Then we have another smaller loop here in about a 5x5, semi-abrasive, not as, about half the size, and so semi-abrasive. And then a really smooth, small 3 millimeter circle here, and it's just so gentle and soft. So I find for using like a glass here, you know, it's not really on too hard, but just in, you know, a little bit of soap and everything like what I would use in a regular cloth. And, you know, it just, there's no scratching whatsoever. It's just so super gentle. So even in this plastic beaker for the Vitamix, It just, of course I can be using a cotton cloth also. But what I guess my point here is this is a piece of material that typically I've been using for iron cookware that I'm finding is working well for everything. And I really can't tell you when this would wear out, but I would tell you it's going to be decades and decades and decades. So like just the longevity of it, you put them in the dishwasher if you want to. I wash them by hand and they work brilliantly well. So this guy is a little bit more cooked on or dried on. And actually, when I grab that first, that one's like a little bit soft in the hand. So I'm on stainless here. I'm going to a larger loop. And just a little bit more substantial when I'm going to clean it. But I just gonna put it between my fingers and the pan. And that's fairly caked on when you have oats that you've cooked into the pan. They're not burnt, of course, but I let them on purpose. I usually would have just taken this pot and soaked it in water and then come back to it. And it's very easy, quick cleanup, but I was trying to make a point here that using the chainmail, because the cooked on oats can definitely be a bit stuck and yucky. So what I find that does like simple quick work. That was the medium size there. And then moving into the piece of cast iron, I find in a big piece of cast, using the bigger one, even though this is hardly even cooked on, it's easy to rub around like so. And, very fast work using the bigger piece. So I would put that back onto the cooktop and cook that for a bit, put a little bit of seasoning paste in it and give it a post seasoning. So this little server guy here, I've got my piece of chainmail. Things can get pretty stuck on the end of these guys. And again, the chainmail is brilliant for getting anything kind of stuck on. So, fast, easy work for everything. Here's some porridge stuck onto this fork. And that's easy. So, I'm a big fan, and this is really what I've been moving towards and using. So I do use all three sizes, and they're great. Okay, so a quick little demo of me washing my dishes, but using chainmail and how effective I find that, all three sizes that we're using here, all of these are quite available. If you're not close to a cook culture, just Google chainmail dishcloth and you'll find them. So what I'm finding, like a large loop, medium loop, and small loop. If I had to choose two, I would go for a large and a small. I find the small is really nice for just kind of day to day. This is in a 5x5. I'm looking at bringing in actually like a 7x7 also for something. You can get these into 10x10 and some other types of chainmail because I'm just finding that it's so functional. So, we're doing our very best to reduce our use of plastic. We have started phasing out all kind of plastic cleaning tools that we feel are breaking down in the sink and going down the drain. So just kind of keeping that top of mind as we're making small choices all the time. And I hope that helps. And any questions about chainmail, please throw them below. And if you can't find it, I can maybe help source it for you wherever you are. So thanks so much. Take care.